Hey guys, it's a Thursday and it's also Time to Talk Day. This day has been created by the amazing people at this campaign called Time to Change, of which I am a mental health champion for, which is exciting. I've been involved with the charity since about October last year. This role means on a volunteer basis that I get involved in campaigns they're doing on social media, and I also get to help out with campaigns that are in my area that I live in, which is pretty cool as well. And also I put it upon myself to talk to people about the campaign, and not just to people that I know, like my family and friends, but to anyone that I meet, basically. Now, if you don't know what Time to Change is, it's a campaign that's been run by two big charities in the UK called Mind and Rethink Mental Illness. The goal of the campaign basically is so that everyone feels a lot more comfortable talking about mental health issues, so that we can just stamp out the stigma of mental health and the sense of taboo that it's had for so long. Every year, as many as 1 in 4 people get diagnosed with a mental health problem, and that might surprise you. Conditions such as eating disorders, depression, bipolar disorder are probably much more common than you actually realise. Mental health illnesses can affect everyone. It can be that commuter that's on the other side of the bus to you or the tube. It could be that girl that you used to go to school with. Chances are you don't even realise it, but you are spending time with people who have dealt with mental illnesses or are currently going through them. What makes me sick to my stomach about mental health illnesses is the fact that people are still ridiculed and they experience prejudice and discrimination as if they didn't have enough to deal with. You wouldn't tell someone, for example, with diabetes that it's something that you'll just get over. You wouldn't tell someone with cancer to just pull their socks up. And telling someone to stop being depressed is like telling someone to stop having a headache or feeling sick. You can't stop those things. So why is this stigma still around in the 21st century? It doesn't make sense to me. I have friends who have battled with mental illnesses for a long time, and the thought that there are people going to be out there that they have to deal with these people that have this prejudice and do not understand, as well as having to deal with their own problems, it is not fair, it is not just, and something needs to be done about it, which is why I am helping this charity. We need to talk about it. Talking about mental health can break down stereotypes. It can aid someone's recovery with their mental health illness, and it can also improve relationships with their family and friends, and also with your own family and friends if you are talking to them about it, because it will feel like there is no sort of barrier between what you can and can't talk about. It's not just individuals who are to blame for this ongoing stigma and taboo. We cannot just blame one thing. We can't just blame it solely on something, but obviously everything plays a part in this. The media is one thing, as well as individuals and even groups of people. We see stories about celebrities who are going into rehab to address their own issues, whether it be mental health or other. Yet, you see these people going into rehab and their fans are going to be obviously a bit confused about what's going on, especially if it's someone that's for a younger generation. And that should open the avenues to talk about mental health to kids, because it's not just talking amongst adults, kids need to know as well. And what made me really, really, really angry this morning was I woke up to Tumblr, I look at lots of food, and I just have a little gander at what people have been putting up online. But this morning riled me a bit, and I've never felt this riled before on Tumblr. Not for a long, long time. There was a story put up about the singer Kesha. Now recently she's gone into rehab for issues dealing with an eating disorder. And then they went on to list another some other celebrities, including Lady Gaga, who's just apparently admitted to having an eating disorder and depression. But what was the last sentence? Is 2014 the year of the breakdowns for celebrities? Really? These people have been brave enough to admit they have problems, go and better themselves, but we're not celebrating that. Some people are not celebrating that. We should be. Because if we celebrate people going and getting help, then a lot more people with these issues will go and get help and seek the help that they actually really need. And it just annoys me because that's all I could write. 2014 being the year of the breakdowns. If it was about any other illness, just say a lot of people in Hollywood had cancer. They wouldn't put something as derogatory as that sentence in that. They would say, get well soon, best wishes. And for this they didn't. And it's not fair as well, because a lot of the things about mental health is because it comes from a problem that is not to do with the mental health issue. Like with eating disorders, sometimes people will say, oh, it's about them wanting to be slim. It is not. There is a problem at the root of it, which is why they will not eat. A lot of people can stem from them wanting to be a skinny person, but then when the disorder takes over, it's obviously something more to keep them from going into destroying themselves. There is such great advocates out there that are celebrities that are dealing with mental health issues and they're speaking up about it. For example, I watched Lorraine this morning and Beverly Callard was on there from Coronation Street and she plays Liz McDonald and she was just openly talking about it and she was talking about the day and I was like, this is the sort of person we need people to look up to. She isn't just an incredible inspiration to a lot of people who have to deal with a lot and she's just an amazing person. And another one, Demi Lovato. Demi Lovato's been through a lot of stuff. Eating disorders, cutting, bipolar, depression. And she's only 21 and she is being an advocate for mental health in America and all over the world to my generation and to younger kids. And that's what they really, really need right now. We need people that are openly talking about it, who people look up to. And it's not just people like me saying about it, it's people that have a key influence on, because my little video on YouTube is just one voice. If we have a lot of people's voices speaking up about mental health, then we could change a lot, not just in the UK, but everywhere. Now, if you're getting as fired up as me about this issue, you're probably wondering how you can help today and for the rest of the future. The aim of Time to Talk Day is to start 1 million conversations about mental health. That's just today. And you may be thinking, oh, but I'm not an expert at it. You don't need to be an expert to talk about it. Often small things will help people that have mental illnesses so they feel that they're not alone in what they're dealing with. Just a simple phone call, a text saying how are you, meeting up with someone, having a walk or a cup of tea with them. Organisations all over the UK are getting involved and quite a few celebrities as well, which is really, really great. It's also important remembering with this that you are the same friend, the same family member and whatever to this person before they were diagnosed, because treating them differently will just make them feel like they are different, which they're not. They've just got an illness. Even if you don't know anyone suffering with an illness yourself, you could start a conversation with your family and friends about it, just to release the stigma that there may be that you don't know about in your friends and family. You don't know what other people think about mental illnesses until you ask. I've started my conversation by doing this video, and I tweeted about doing this vlog as well on my Twitter, which I'll put details of in the description of where you can find me. And this campaign, it's important to remember, this is not just for today, this is forever. This campaign needs to carry on and people need to keep talking about mental health. To stamp out this stigma for good, we can't just keep it for today. We want to start a lot of conversations today, obviously, to be the starting mark, but if we go from a starting mark and don't go further, then today has been a good day, and that's it. The aim of today really is so that if you or anyone you know of ever has to deal with a mental health issue, is dealing with, or has dealt with, they feel that they can talk about their experience openly and honestly with one another, because this could help a lot of people who feel like they are dealing with something but they don't know what it is. Talking about things helps. Problem shared is a problem halved, as they always say. You can join the conversation on Twitter using the hashtag #TimeToTalk, which is going to be underneath my face right now. You can also comment below on the video if you have any things to ask, or about the charity, about the day, about mental health, anything. I'm happy to answer. I will put some information in the description box for some charities that if you need some advice about a problem, if you are trying to help someone with a problem, or if you just want some information about mental health, they're really good sites. I've got the Samaritans and some other ones down there, and they're really, really helpful. Really good charities as well. Because as they say, knowledge is power. My name is Sarah, I'm 21, and I believe it is time to talk, so that the next generation don't feel the stigma that my generation and everyone alive on this planet has had to deal with in our battles of mental illness. And always remember, you are not alone. Thank you for watching, and I hope this helps some people. And I would also like to thank Time to Change for setting up this day, and Mind and Rethink Mental Illness for setting up this campaign, and for all the great work that you do as a charity. It's time to talk day, guys. It's time to talk and change the face of mental health.